I'm here with Alexandra Stapleton, who has brought a space age themed design, which is so cool.
Yes, totally.
And you also have a really neat idea for customizing vinyl that I've never seen before.
Yes, so we're going to be using a roll feeder to make really big things so you can customize entire bedrooms.
Well, I was going to say also the planets that you have here are so epically cool.
Thank you.
I can't believe they all originally look the same.
Yes, so we all started with this silver vinyl. So I'm going to get the machine started with our name so that we can customize this planets. So I've already had it loaded in. I've attached my roll feeder. So I'm just going to get that cutting so we can get started. So that's going to start cutting. I have pre-cut one, and whenever you cut vinyl, you have to do something called weeding. So we take away all of the excess, and you're going to use a hook tool to do that. So you just kind of grab these edges and you'll pull all of those out. So the middle of the P's, the middle of the E's, all those kinds of things. What I really want to show you is how we made these fun designs. So it's just an applicator with some felt on the bottom and alcohol ink. So you can use any alcohol ink.
So alcohol ink, for somebody who's not used to it, it's a specifically formulated kind of ink that's literally made from alcohol because the alcohol evaporates and leaves the pigment behind.
Exactly, so you can use it on any non-porous surface.
Because normally, like, using markers or paint on vinyl can be pretty tough because it doesn't really want to stick to the surface.
Exactly, it's going to wipe off, it's not going to be there forever. I mean, I can touch this, I can rub it. It doesn't go anywhere at all.
Cool.
It's dried. And then once you're done, you just kind of dot and dab. You can do stripes.
That's how you got the planet stripes. I was wondering how you got all of these really cool stripes in here, and it's as easy as a rub, which is awesome to know.
And then things like this, where I got loads and loads of texture in here, I just took some isopropyl alcohol from the drugstore, popped it on my applicator, and it reacts and gives you extra things. So you really can kind of play around with some fun things in there. So we're done cutting over here on our roll feeder. And the great thing about the roll feeder, if you will help me here, Julie, is we can cut super long things.
Well, you know, and it's so fun to put it on the wall for somebody's birthday. You can use permanent or temporary vinyl or anything like that to be able to get that up. Super cool.
Exactly.
And what a good saying, too.
Fits perfectly with our theme.
Exactly.
Now we're going to cut it.
Cool. And just pull that vinyl right on out. Now, vinyl will stick to most surfaces. I know people who've put vinyl on their car. I mean, there's boat vinyl, certainly. There's all kinds of things.
Yeah, so there's different vinyl for different materials. You get window cling, you can get temporary, permanent. So you really can get it for any material. You could also get heat transfer vinyl, so you can put it on shirts and bags and that kind of thing.
And now I know I don't even need every color, because I'll just do it with alcohol inks.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I pre-weeded, as we call it, so which is where you take away all of the excess. So we're going to put this onto our board. So let's just clear this aside so we can do that.
And one of the things that I think is so neat that people always ask about the weeding process is, why do you do that? Why don't you just pull them off like stickers? Let me get that out of the way for you.
So I'm going to show you how easy this is now that we've done it this way. So I just prepped my board, piece of wood, painted it black.
Can we talk about how brilliant you are with the stars? Because I think I know how you made that, but tell us.
Splattered some white paint.
Oh my gosh, simple and effective, and yet immediately I was like, oh, it's stars.
Yeah, and cut circles with an electronic cutter, stuck them on, and we're done.
And we got a galaxy.
So easy, and it's customized again. So if I can get you to help me here, Julie.
Yes.
So this is transfer tape. This is like a light, sticky tape, and it has grid lines printed actually on the tape, which is going to help us line it up.
It's always easier when there's lines. It's like having a ruler built in. I guess I'm going to be the one who. Where do you want me to cut it?
Roundabout on this grid line here.
Okay.
And these are non-stick scissors, so they are not going to stick.
That's good too, because that is adhesive.
Yes. So we're going to line this up.
And this is important when you have text, obviously, because you want it straight.
Precisely.
Of course, if you were a person who likes things a little cattywampus, then, you know, rock on.
I have been known.
Well, I always think things that are handmade should have that handmade feel, but only if you want them to. And I think that's the key to being happy with the things you make, is that you get the result you were expecting.
Right. And so the easiest way to do this is just give it a firm rub and then turn it over and peel away your backing. And you see how easy that is.
Cool.
So now I have my name ready to go on.
And you just can put it right on there.
And so now I can really work out. So rather than having to peel each letter off, making sure it's straight, all those things.
Also, like you've done fairly simple, right? We've got just 5 letters, but let's say you had that entire saying, this huge saying, like how would I get this off with all of those little bits and pieces and everything else, and the spacing, even like the dot on the I would be impossible.
I can do it all in one, and I can put it up in the wall, on the wall, all in one as well.
Cool. If only everything in life were this easy. You know what I wish they had? I wish I could transfer tape makeup on. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I know. Wouldn't that be great in the
That'd be
morning?
great,
Just
right?
put it on and you're done. So again, I'm just giving it a firm rub.
Now this is wood, I think, that you
Yes.
have under here. So is there anything special that we need to know about like transferring vinyl to wood? Is there a different process than doing it on paper or anything like that?
Nothing special at all. You might want to seal it afterwards. You can spray sealant on if you want to. If you wanted to hang it in a bathroom particularly, you would want to make sure it was sealed. Now, normally when I'm doing this at home, I put the transfer tape down and then I would leave it for say 5 minutes because the adhesive cures and it goes really solid. So rather than now where I'm having to kind of
be
coax
careful
it down
about
a little bit.
Well, I was also going to say, you know, the thing for me that always makes vinyl stick really easily is my fingernail. The magic tool that you always carry with you. If you just burnish it quite a bit,
your fingers
that
the
helps
best
as well.
crafting tools.
They are, and I think people get so worried about having all the latest tools and all the latest gadgets, but the truth is most of the time you can use whatever you have, you know, on your person, but certainly that's already in your craft room. You can figure out how to repurpose and reuse it, but it's also the reason that it's important to know like the chemical makeup of things, right? Because like I know that alcohol inks are going to react a certain way versus dye ink versus pigment ink, and if you know that, then you can use any brand, any type, because you can figure out how to work. It's kind of like baking. Right? If you understand the chemistry, then you can use the supplies and really figure it out.
Exactly.
And look how cool this is.
Thank you. And there's a couple of samples I made here of other things. And this one at the front was actually a bird feeder that we made into a rocket and made it into a money box for a space room.
That is super cute.
So there you go.
And I love this clear piece. You could also do this on a mirror or something like that. That would be really neat.
Absolutely.
And certainly we could have done alcohol ink if we wanted onto these silver letters to transform them, but they're really cool just as is.
Yeah.
I have one last question.
Of course.
Was this silver, and is that why these planets seem to glow? Like if you did this on a white vinyl, would it have the same look?
Yeah, I tried it on all different types of vinyl. I tried it on glitter vinyl, which had a little bit more glitter because you could kind of see the opacity through it. But yeah, it worked on everything.
That is super cool, Alexandra.